what does it mean to be elite?
Don't wait till next week to turn it up. Turn up tonight.
A pair of quarterbacks impressing on the camp circuit. From elite to three-peat. Can Reigns do it again?
Whose house is this? Let them know whose house this is.
And who else emerges as title contenders?
Come out swinging, throw that haymaker early.
A new season of the Friday Night Blitz starts now.
This is Action Sports Jack's Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
You ain't got to be a starter to make a play, bro. And the play don't care who make it, bro. For real. Go out there and make it, bro. For real. Turn up. Let's go, bro. Y'all boys have fun, bro. Let's go. Turn up.
Hey, there's a special guest on the sidelines, Dan, tonight, this evening at University Christian.
I know who that is. It's Jag safety Ronnie Harrison bringing the Friday Night Blitz back in motivating fashion as his alma mater, Florida High, took on University Christian.
The guys love going back to the Friday Night Lights. Welcome to our 2019 debut of the Friday Night Blitz. The games don't count tonight, but you know we're bringing that 100% effort on your favorite high school football show in town. The Blitz is back.
Yeah, let's hit a few of the kickoff classic games being played today, but also spotlight some of the big stories heading into the upcoming season, including one of the toughest regular season schedules this area has ever seen. We break down the Conquerors of Trinity Christian's challenge.
And can they do what Reigns and Mandarin did a year ago and win a state title? A look back at those memorable nights in Orlando. Some changes to the high school football landscape in Duval County. What impact will 6 p.m. start times have on the game?
And the playoff point system changes again. I feel like we say that every year. We'll break it down for you tonight on the Blitz.
There'll be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Oh, yeah, the Tiger Den ready for some Friday Night Lights. Columbia hosting Colquitt County out of Georgia. This young lady is not amused, but, Dan, I think she could help us put on our makeup.
Very nice.
Yeah, very good. Hire her. It's the Jordan Smith Show in Lake City.
Is that a red jersey?
Yeah, don't hit him, man. He's special. Going to USF, finds enough time. Lenedrick Bradley catches, spins, and that's a big gainer. Look at him go. It would set up Smith. On 4th down and short, Lake City goes for it. Columbia goes for it. The old school folks in Lake City like that. I say Lake City. Yeah. The new folks say Columbia. That's a touchdown for Columbia, 7-0. Hey, by the way, next week we will be in Columbia again. They host Trinity in our game of the week.
Ooh, Creekside taking on Mandarin. State champs in the rain tonight. Mandarin's Martravius Mack takes a handoff. Goes left, that's no good, so he reverses around the other side, rounds the corner, heads upfield, good yardage before finally being pulled down later. Cameron Daniels gets the ball, finishes up the rest with a leaping touchdown. Mustangs were up 7-3. Oh, they got some serious rain. Good effort by the Knights, though, against the defending champs. 24-20, I believe, if you're scoring at home. Creekside on top.
All right, a little humidity out there with that rain. Defending state champs, Reigns. Travon Ed White takes on the Commanders. First play of the game. Quarterback Grant Travis drops back, but it is picked off. Runs down the sideline, cuts it back. How about that? A little pick six to start the year.
Boy.
You know what?
Is that Lido?
The games might not count, but he says, I think it counts. That's a long run, huh? Later in the first quarter, Adrian Williams calls his own number, and it's a 13-0 lead. Reminder, we're not talking about final scores tonight, because these are kickoff classics, essentially scrimmages. So Mandarin and Reigns, both in action tonight, looking to make a repeat trip to the state championship game, raising the trophy, of course, the ultimate goal once again.
Now let's bring in Stuart Weber now to take a look back at both teams' run to Orlando 1 year ago.
Not one, but two Duval County Public Schools raising a trophy last December. Before the Mandarin Mustangs look to repeat and the Reigns Vikings go for a three-peat, we take a look back at the championship runs for both. Ichiban, number one, once again, with Deron Wiley leading the Vikings back to Orlando and back-to-back with another win over Cocoa.
Tradition. It feels unbelievable, man. You got the former guys coming back and celebrate with us. Those guys are my friends. I love them, and they're there for me and my team, and I'm glad they can be here.
Brandon Marshall caps a career that sees him leave Reigns as the Vikings' all-time leading rusher and 4A State Player of the Year.
It was a great feeling to come out here with my teammates. We balled, and we came out with a W, man. I love my team. We had ups and downs. When we had the ups and downs, we had to just stay focused and stay calm, and we stayed calm, and we came out with the W, man. I'm just just too happy right now.
You already know, man. We've been working so hard for this, man. This state, man. Stop playing, man.
But the story doesn't stop there. 2 nights later, the Mandarin Mustangs finished off a turnaround last year from 8 losses to the top of 8A this season.
I knew we were a good football team. I knew we were talented. I believed in our coaches. I believed in our players. You know, we just needed to have that moment where the players finally believed in themselves they could do whatever, and then it happened.
With an offense that nobody managed to stop this postseason, Carson Beck and his stable of receivers rode all the way to the state championship.
To the atmosphere, I mean, the level of the game, where we're at in the playoffs, the state championship, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than this in high school.
Now with new district opponents for both, can the Mustangs or Vikings do it again? We'll follow the journey all season long. For the Friday Night Blitz, I'm Stuart Weber.
It was 2013. It was the second round of the playoffs, Rain versus Bowl, classic. We lost in double overtime. That moment there kind of changed everyone's life because, you know, loss. It was a lesson, and I think that's when we start to turn the corner. I can feel it.
Hey, the Rains Vikings enjoying the fruits of their labor these days, being back-to-back state champions and all, but a couple key moments in a great rivalry are considered keys to the Vikings' recent success.
All season long, Marcel Robinson will be getting an inside look at the Rains program, so stay tuned this fall. Making of a program, the Rains Run, a little mini-series on the Vikings coming on the Friday Night Blitz.
Rains is one of the many teams shifting districts for the upcoming season. In fact,
they're in
where are
5A.
they? 5A. Paxton, Rains, Ribault, Stanton, and Yulee. That's Rains district to win. There's lots of changes, man. I love the one over here behind you, the 8A District 1. I mean, who wins that? Bartram, Mandarin, Nice, Oakleaf, Sandalwood. Those are 5 good teams.
It's probably the best in the state when it comes to a district in terms of load. I mean, you look at some of the tradition, some of the power, some of the talent that goes to those schools. It's pretty impressive, and everybody in the area knows about it. These teams are pretty fired up about that district.
It's exciting. Us, Sandalwood, Mandarin, Bartram, like this district's going to be exciting. Like we're going to do something this year.
We didn't make playoffs last year, so we got a lot to prove this year. It's going to be a dogfight. Nothing's going to be guaranteed, and we're hoping for a lot of fun games, a lot of exciting games, the best game every week.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Me and my defense, we're ready. Knowing that we got a target on our back, you know, we practice 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody in the city wants our head. So yeah, we just keep on competing, even more than we did last year.
Let's take you to Oakleaf, where the Knights are hosting Ponte Vedra. Pick it up late in the first quarter as the Sharks' Campbell Parker takes it in from 1 yard out, standing up 7-7. Oakleaf would counter that with a touchdown pass from Walter Simmons, the third. There's Walt, my guy. Zips it to the back of the end zone. Deshaun Washington. Knights are up 14-7. Both teams getting ready for the season to come.
To the beach now, the Fletcher Senators welcoming new Bulls coach Matt Toblin and his Bulldogs on this Friday night. Beach Rats using the run game extensively. Miles Montgomery up the middle, finds some room, and picks up the first down. Lets the coaching staff know he's ready to eat. Fletcher gets to the red zone. Big third down. Bulls up to the task. Jackson Fowler closes in a hurry to force the field goal. 2 teams to watch this season. No doubt Fletcher by the beach and Bulls will be good under Toblin. That game tonight at Fletcher started at 6 o'clock, and it wasn't the only one. The move is part of a countywide change that hopes to make the game safer for everyone involved. The spirit of Friday Night Lights broke in the last year.
There was absolutely no reason for something like this to occur.
Shootings surrounding high school football games marred the competition and sense of community that comes with playing under the lights.
Anything for safety, and this is why we're doing it. I'm in big support of the superintendent and what we're doing, and it's just game planning.
Duval County's solution for safety, kickoffs, will now start at 6 p.m.
It's the same way as if you got to go down to Orlando and play a game, or if you got to go next door and play Ribault High School. You make a plan, you practice it all week, and you're ready to go.
Logistics will change for coaches and teams with the earlier kick time.
The 6 o'clock is really not that big of an effect. The kids just don't have that much time to. I think I'm going to have to feed them after school. We'll adjust to that. I don't think it's going to bother us that much.
Kind of bump everything up. So instead of them having as much time to relax, and they kind of have to speed it up a little bit, especially on the road games. At home, it won't affect us as much, but when we got to get on the bus and travel, especially in the traffic, we got to leave a little bit earlier.
Maybe a small inconvenience, but it's safety first, preserving football on Fridays and a good amount of those games will still finish under the Friday night lights. Friendly reminder for this season.
Hey, that's
me. If you missed the start of a show or want to watch on the drive home,
that's you again. Where am I?
We're everywhere.
Do I get
you
a
can
shot?
Stream the Friday Night Blitz on the Action News Jax Facebook page, and also catch the whole show archive there right after we finish, and we might even show Dan.
It's unfair. Yeah, you better get ready for more skylights. Sky Action News Jax is back for another season. Hard to beat the view from way up top.
So fun.
Yeah.
Get the chopper out. Time on this preseason edition of the Friday Night Blitz. We'll have more games coming up, plus another change to the FHSAA playoff system. We'll break that down next.
Plus perhaps the hardest schedule in the entire nation. It'll be a test week in and week out for Trinity Christian. That's coming up.
A quick non-blitz note as we say hey. The Coach of the Year, Sia Burley,
attaboy, Cy,
of the NAL, the Jacksonville Sharks, hosting the league championship game tomorrow night. Go Sharks, get a championship.
We are the Fletcher Senators, and this is the Friday Night Blitz.
You're watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
The odds are against you, and they are. We are inexperienced. Everybody knows it. But I'll tell you what, nobody hits harder than us. Do y'all hear me?
One last ride for Kevin Brown at Fletcher, retiring at the end of the school year. Senators hope to send him out a winner.
Love that guy.
I love getting inside the locker room for the speeches. It was without a doubt one of the biggest stories, not just in Jacksonville, but the entire state. The Andrew Jackson Tigers was one of their best seasons in a long time, going 4-5. But it still was one of the best seasons they've had in a while. But they lost out on a playoff spot to a team that, Dan, had 0 wins.
Now, that sounds impossible, right? But with the way the FHSAA determined playoff spots a year ago, it sure did happen. So the program is once again getting a facelift, and that's where we bring in Marcel Robinson to help explain the newest formula to determine who makes the postseason in November.
Let's try this again, shall we? The FHSAA set out to correct their playoff change from just a year ago to eliminate some of the flaws in determining just how teams earn playoff positions. I hope you all like math. Essentially, this is how it works. The ratings percentage index is the sum of 3 parts. 35% of a team's winning percentage, 35% of their opponent's winning percentage, and this is the new one, 30% of their opponent's winning percentage. There's still an advantage to scheduling tough opponents, but no more bonus points for playing a team that made a postseason berth in previous years. So for all my visual learners, what does this change look like on paper? Well, if you look at the chart here, we have 5 teams. Obviously, being 10-0, winning all your games is the best way to get into the playoffs. But if you look here and see, we have a little bit of a discrepancy between 9-1 and 8-2. That's where things kind of get a little bit dicey. Depends on who you play and who your team that you play plays. And hey, who knows what can happen out there. Is it perfect? Of course not. No matter what system is in place, the team on the outside looking in, well, they'll always make a case for why they should be in over another team. One last note, the rankings will be released every Tuesday at 2 p.m. beginning October 8th, so teams and coaches will be able to track their status throughout the rest of the year. In the studio, Marcel Robinson, Action Sports Jax.
Let's just take his word for it.
I believe him.
I don't know if we'll ever get this thing, but maybe it's better. They're trying, man. They are trying.
Yeah.
Can't blame them for that. Also, friendly reminder to check out the Action Sports Jax Twitter page and use the hashtag ASJax all season long to be featured.
If y'all don't feel it now, I can't say nothing to y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
Ronnie Harrison getting the alma mater pumped up tonight to play UC Florida High out of Tallahassee, making the trip to Jacksonville. And early in the second quarter, Max McClendon gets the party started for UC as he looks with a nice block to rumble inside the 5-yard line. A few plays later, he's going to finish it off in the end zone. Oh boy, Max, that's Willie's kid, following the recovered onside kick. UC keeps it on the ground.
In the classic.
Arthur Fats Walker plows in for another score.
Be nice.
Doesn't look Fats. UC starts slow, but they get it rolling into the half.
Packed crowd at Nice tonight for Coach Colin Draft's debut. Look at the crowd. Watch this play. Paxton QB Christian Russ throws deep to the end zone. Ball gets tipped. Nice's Kenneth Ponzetti grabs it, takes off.
Oh, no.
Paxton's Ethan Farrell strips for the ball, picks it up, gets Paxton's first touchdown.
Oh.
Wow. Later, Paxton is backed up to the end zone. John Smith tries to run around, but gets tackled in the end zone. And Nice gets 2 points and a safety. By the way, it was really John Smith. I didn't just make up the name that we didn't have on a roster, John Smith.
Okay.
I don't think. It's John Smith. Now it's time for the dash.
Dan's Dash, brought to you by the Southern Chevy Dealers. Find new roads.
I gotta slow down. The Dash loves Providence now for 2 reasons. One, it's in the Dash cone, very close to the station. 2 Dash juniors on the roster. Tonight, the Stallions on the road at Inglewood. First quarter, quarterback Austin Walker throws one up. Number 4, Jaden Heath grabs a touchdown, 7-0 Stallions. After that, all Providence defense. Heath can do it all. He had an interception right here and a nice run back. By the way, he had not 1, not 2, but 3 of them in the first half. And then at game's end, Rams trying to make something happen. But number 10, Chad Elder with the pick. And Providence seals the deal. 7-0 final score. To be named an Elite 11 quarterback, Brent, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, to have 2 in one city, much less one district, not something you see very often. Before Mandarin and Sandalwood get together for a nationally televised matchup on October 18th, we take a look at the friendship of these 2 rival quarterbacks.
Sandalwood's Jeff Sims and Mandarin's Carson Beck forever connected in so many ways. Both part of the ESPN Top 300, both part of the Elite 11, both good friends. Well, except for...
Me and Carson aren't rivals until we play each other, so, I mean, I support him in everything he does. I hope to see him succeed, but just know when we play each other, there's going to be a lot of trash talking.
That Sandalwood Mandarin game doesn't happen until October 18th, but Beck understands the importance of it.
It's a must-win for both of us. I mean, truly, I feel like whoever wins that game will be top of the district, win the district. I mean, truly, it'll be me against him. I feel like there could be 800 yards thrown in that game, which it'll definitely be fun to watch.
Both quarterbacks are fun to watch. Last year, Mandarin and Beck bested Sandalwood and Sims. This time around, Sims won't back down.
I mean, that's just part of who I am. I like hyping things up, and I'm very energetic. So, I mean, if I'm excited, I'm going to let you know how excited I am.
I feel like a lot of people don't even remember, like that we won a state championship. It's like everyone's kind of putting us back down at the bottom.
2 of the top quarterbacks in the country right down the road from each other, both with big futures at FSU and Georgia. But in the here and now, the focus on what each hopes will be a senior season to remember. Once again, our area littered with senior prospects in the latest ESPN 300 recruiting rankings, topped by UM commit Jalen Rivers at 32. Trinity's talented defensive back Fred Davis, 44th. He's going to Clemson next year. And just outside the top 50, another future Cane at Oakleaf defensive end Chance Williams. Now, both Sims and Beck are in the top 300, as is Miles Brooks, another DB from the Conquerors. He's going to Georgia Tech for college, Brent.
Wow, just shake your head at all the talent we have around here. It's awesome. Speaking of Trinity Christian, Verlin Dormady has set up a schedule for the ages. The Conquerors are back in 3A this season, meaning they don't have a district, and we're able to schedule anyone they choose. So, well, they chose some toughies. Not only do the Conquerors play some of the best teams in Northeast Florida, Columbia, Lee, Ribault, all on the schedule, but they also have some of the best in the state coming to town, including Plantation American Heritage, the 5A state champs in 2016 and 2017. There is Heritage. A week later, 6A Power, Carroll City will visit Jacksonville. They won the title back in 2016. Pahokee is a small school dynasty with 6 state championships, now led by DJ Bolden. Know that name, Dan? Yeah. That brother of the school's most famous alum, Anquan Bolden. A couple of weeks after that, National Power Colquitt County, who just visited Lake City tonight, hosts Trinity. They finished runner-up in Georgia's highest class the past 2 years after winning a national title in 2016. And speaking of champs, Trinity goes to the graveyard on October 25th to face the Rains Vikings. All in one season for the Conquerors. This schedule, for my money, the toughest in the country in high school football. No shortage of fan reaction on social media to the schedule. Some wows and oh my God. And even one fan saying season tickets have to be more expensive than the Jaguars.
kick, catch, run, do all the basic fundamentals. And above all else, man, have a good time, man. It's a party out here, all right? You ain't got to talk with your mouth, talk with your pad.
Talk with your pads. Lynn Shell serving as interim head coach for Ribault. His first game action with the Trojans Thursday night. Early adversity against First Coast. Snap is high. Bucks pounce on it. Jamal Gelsey gets the early touchdown for the home team. Ribault able to get it going. Cedarian Fed hangs in there and gets it to Josh Jones. Great one-handed catch and pick up the huge gain. Trojans open at Creekside next week.
More Thursday action at Bishop Kenny. Crusaders hosting Buchholz. And a big test against the Bobcats early on. Michael Myslinski in pursuit. Gets enough of the quarterback for a sack for number 55. Later in the first half with TIAA Bank in the background. George Farmhand on the screen. Andrew Tabor, big gainer. BK, by the way, will host Fletcher in the opener next week.
Just about done on our first Friday Night Blitz of the season. When we come back, exciting news about the year to come.
Yeah, plus your top play from the night. Make sure you stay with us.
Hey, Friday Night Blitz. Welcome at White High School. We have hamburgers, hot dogs, fries, and corn dogs. Go Commanders! Woo.
Go food, I say. Go food. Friday night, baby.
We're the First Coast Buccaneers, and this is Friday Night Blitz.
What time is it?
Showtime.
You're watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
A big shout out to Subway for once again supporting the show. Always keep your eyes open for the free swag getting tossed into the crowd. Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. And, well, how about this? CBS 47, Fox 30, Friday Night Blitz, all your highlights, so many games. And we've always had a game of the week. This year, something a little bit different. We are going to announce our game of the week schedule for the entire fall right now. Here it is. And it also includes not just special highlights here on the Blitz every Friday night, but we are going to call the game on the radio side on ESPN 690 and all the various platforms on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything else. It will begin next week. Trinity Christian at Columbia, week number 1. We'll hit 6 different counties. We'll hit Georgia for a game as well. It's going to be a lot of fun on ESPN 690. And make sure to catch ESPN 690 Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. Every day, Action Sports Jax on the radio.
The play of the week is brought to you by Farah and Farah.
All right, here it is. Backs at quarterback Christian Russ throws deep to the end zone. Ball gets tipped. Nice's Kenneth Ponzetti grabs it, takes off. But Paxton's Ethan Farrell strips the ball from him, picks it up, and scores a touchdown. That's a play of the day.
That is a play of the day.
That's pretty good.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Nice job to Stuart Weber producing this show. He did a great job setting us up for a fantastic fall ahead. 10:30 on Fox 30. This is the show you're watching. 11:20 on CBS 47. We'll do another version of the Blitz every Friday night, and that includes tonight. So we'll see you in 20 minutes. It's going to be a fun fall. No doubt. A lot of talent, a lot of good teams, some great coaching as well.
How about a Band of the Week? Starting next week, you'll be able to vote on who we showcase for our Band of the Week. But tonight, let's just enjoy some music as we thank you for hanging out with us on the Friday Night Blitz. And we'll be back with you in just a few minutes over there on CBS 47.
The Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.